in the Department of Human Settlements now on this issue of evictions. The spokesperson for the department, Mr. McIntosh Polela, joins me now for a conversation. Mr. Polela, thank you so much for your time and welcome to eNCA. Let's just start with this dehumanizing, incident that we've all witnessed on social media via this video. I mean, I understand that you have released a statement condemning the actions that you have witnessed on this video, but have you received a detailed report from the City of Cape Town as to what exactly happened and how they plan to remedy the situation?
Yeah, so the Minister is in the process of being appraised as to the exact circumstances surrounding this man who was completely disrobed. First of all, we need to say that it was completely disturbing to the Minister and the Ministry to see that he wasn't afforded the opportunity to put on his clothes, even if he was being legitimately evicted. So those are the kind of details that we're still trying to establish. Number one, we have said that according to the regulations of COVID-19, evictions are not allowed. The people that need to be evicted are those that have put up new structures. That's what we're trying to establish, whether this person was being evicted because he put on a new structure which would have been legitimate, but that's besides the point. The point is you cannot have a man completely disrobed and drag him out of his shack. You need to give him an opportunity to put on his clothes, and then, only then can you do your job. It's already dehumanizing enough to live in a shack, so you need to offer that person a little bit of a semblance of dignity by allowing him to put on his clothes.
Yeah, I mean, as we're having this conversation, those visuals were just on the screen right now. Not only was he not afforded that opportunity to put on his clothes, Mr. Polela, but even when he still attempted to go back into his shack, they commenced, that is, of course, the law enforcement's they still commenced to destroy and destruct his shack whilst he was still inside, blatantly, of course, continuing to dehumanize him. But, I mean, of course, the City of Cape Town came out saying that they do condemn as well this incident. They have taken measures to suspend their staff members, but also they mentioned that this was done so that they do, of course, protect the staff members from being targeted, due to this incident. I know that you said the minister is still being appraised by this situation from the city, but what is your stance so far from how the city has handled the suspension of these staff members?
Look, the suspension is necessary. They're going to have to do an investigation from their side, and we hope that they do it as quickly as possible. And what we have appealed that they should do is, as they continue to do the investigation, they should also continue to, inform us. Because, number one, we need to establish from the start, was the eviction legitimate? If the eviction was legitimate, we still need to investigate why was this man not being given an opportunity to put on his clothes. That issue is what has shocked a lot of people, including the minister and Parliament. So even if the eviction itself was legal, it was legitimate, you still have to get to the bottom of why was the man dragged out, completely disrobed out of the shack. I mean, the people that have been suspended are going to have to answer. We're happy that these people have been suspended, but you need to get to the bottom of the matter by making sure that those that did that are punished, and are punished as soon as possible, so that when this happens again, people think twice about dehumanizing people who are completely do not have dignity because they live in a shacks anyway.
Right. I want to get into this question you're asking, that was the eviction legitimate, which, of course, needs to be answered by the City of Cape Town. My question to you is, even if this eviction was legitimate in terms of, it being, of course, conducted, wasn't the Department of Human Settlements supposed to be notified about it? I mean, you did mention before that no evictions were allowed during level 3. So how is it possible that this eviction could still be conducted under the regulation that evictions are not allowed under level 3, but also without the Human Settlements Department being aware of it?
So, no, the City of Cape Town doesn't have to tell us when they are conducting a legitimate investigation, a legitimate eviction. What needs to happen is, if people are putting up new structures, those people immediately have to be removed. And we've said, while evictions are not allowed, the invasion of land is not allowed. So people who are going there and deliberately putting up new structures have to be removed. And they don't have to tell us when they do that. And that's basically what we're trying to establish. What we are shocked by is the manner at which the eviction itself was conducted. To see a man completely disrobed, being prevented from going back to the shack, because what they should have said if the eviction was legitimate was to say, okay, put on your clothes. You have just put on a new structure. You're not allowed to do so. But for goodness sake, allow a man to put on his clothes before you conduct your work. That's what we're saying.
Allow a man to put on his clothes. Well, thank you so much, Mr. McIntosh Polela. That was the spokesperson for Human Settlements, Water and Sanitation Ministry there talking to us.